Hello there, welcome back to the Agostino Zinga show with your host, Agostino Zinga, and this is episode number 920. That is Nueve Dos Zero with you, the Agostino Zinga show. Does that make any sense? No, with Agostino Zinga, on the Agostino Zinga show, coming at you live and direct from an undisclosed location somewhere within the depths of East London. How you doing? How you feeling? Great, amazing, good to know. Great, amazing, good to know. How am I doing? All good, all things considered. I could be better, but all good, all things considered. All good, all things considered. Today's been a bit of a rough day in football, isn't it? Or this week's been a bit of a rough day in football with the unfortunate and tragic passing of Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva, and then today, Musiala, the really amazing young, super talented, super good player for Bayern Munich, unfortunately looks like he broke his leg, like clean as well, like fibula, whole thing. I think he was going through on goal. The keeper came out. I didn't see the actual challenge, but he looked like he tried to go around the goalkeeper, and unfortunately, his whole entire leg got snapped. You see his foot pointing the other direction. You see him screaming. In those sort of instances, I've always wondered, like, are you screaming because of the pain, or is he screaming because of the shock of what you see? Because his face, man, like when he looks down, you see his face, he's so frightened. He's like just got this crazy expression on his face. He's really, 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 really scared. And then I think he starts to hold it, which I'm probably sure is not a good idea. But yeah, he looked like that. That looks like he's going to be out for a long time. But it depends, because I have read sometimes when that happens to footballers, if it's like a clean break, it's easier to heal. But when it breaks and it kind of shatters, maybe with the bone fragments and stuff, and it becomes a bit hard. Depends how it breaks, basically. You have to be somewhat fortunate for it to break a certain way, and it can heal pretty well. But for a player like him, with that, with his kind of playing style, you're hoping it doesn't affect him permanently going forward, because you never know. Those type of breaks can maybe make you a little bit gun shy. Like I always have said, and I think no, I don't think I'm unique in saying this, but it was my impression that Luke Shaw was completely changed as a player the time he had his broken leg incident. I think Luke Shaw's broken leg incident might have been against Middlesbrough. I think so. I think his broken leg was against Middlesbrough. I think so. I'm not too sure, but I think it was Middlesbrough. And ever since then, I think Luke Shaw's been extra gun shy when it comes to like going into 50-50 challenge, attacking, just being on the front foot. He's a bit more, it changed him as a football player, which is probably why he's a better Luke Shaw now. He's a better left-sided wing back, right? Or no, he left-sided centre midfielder in the back three. I think he plays much better that way than he does as an out-and-out left back. He doesn't have what it needs. Doesn't have what it takes to be an out-and-out left back going up and down the wing anymore, because he doesn't have that, that killer instinct, that ability, or that willingness to kind of charge and go up and down. And I wonder if that's to do with his leg break. I wonder if that's to do with a leg break that kind of permanently changed the way he kind of thinks about things. So you're hoping with Musiala's injury, it's not a thing where it's going to stop him from being gun shy. It's not going to stop him from attacking his defense. Because one of the things why, Musiala is such a great player, similar to flipping Lamine Yamal, is that ability and tendency to pick up the ball and just go straight towards the defenders. Have the defenders running backwards, jinking left and right, popping the ball through the middle of the legs and stuff, like risking, you know what I mean? Risking a dangle, risking a trip. So I wonder if that will change him. Hopefully it doesn't. I'm assuming he's going to get all the top care, of course, and hopefully that goes where it needs to be going. But I'm sure a lot of managers, the football wider world, will be talking a lot about how unnecessary this Club World Cup has been. I'm not going to lie, like, it's been quite refreshing to see some players, like even Lamine Yamal and a few others, enjoying their time off. I think it's really sad that these football players don't get time to really just relax and let their hair down. I think there's a lot to be said for when Grealish was doing his thing, which is kind of bit him in the arse, because now Grealish is being pushed out of Man City. And I feel like Grealish being pushed out of Man City or being iced out by Pep, it's just Pep kind of losing patience in his like playboy lifestyle. I think in the beginning, Pep kind of gave him some rope, gave him license to do what he wanted, but after, and it's unfortunate this type of occasions, because I think I don't know, you never know when someone changes their opinion of you, you never really know when you do something that is going to annoy somebody to the point where they just completely, like, they write you off. So I'm sure there was something innocuous. Maybe Pep was, sitting down on his terrace sometime. He grabbed the paper and he saw a picture of flipping Grealish coming out of a pub with his hood up, looking smashed on that one day, and he had an argument because you have to imagine too, Pep didn't have the best year last year, right? Man City didn't win the league. I think that was also the same year that his wife threatened to divorce him. I think he's back with her now, but he's probably going through a lot of personal stuff, not in the best mood. And then you open the papers, you open the Sun or something, and you see fucking Grealish, comatose, lying on the fucking pavement, vomiting out the side of his mouth and shit. You're like, you know what? Enough of this guy. He's a great player, but enough. So I wonder if that's if that kind of happens in football. This more often than not, like your manager starts off liking you and giving you license to do your thing, be your own person, but it changes. But all that to say, as much as Grealish's antics are annoying for me personally, because I always think there's a real big racism problem in the UK, especially with footballers and the perception. Because if a black player was to be out and about on town, as much as Grealish would be, they'd be writing fucking op-eds about how destructive it was, bad influence. Like, look at Rashford. Rashford wears a couple fucking diamond chains and the media goes fucking crazy. So I don't really like that. It's not Grealish's fault. What I did like about Grealish was that unapologetic of like, hey, I'm clocking off now. I'm going to have a drink. I love that. I love seeing footballers have a cigarette. Do you know what I mean? Like, let them enjoy, let them let their hair down, man. They work so incredibly hard throughout the entirety of the season anyway. So many, especially the Premier League, so many fucking matches, not including all the fucking cup matches and shit. They deserve a break in the summer to let their hair down and recharge and come back again in the fucking new season at the end of the year. That's what they deserve. So seeing all these players being pushed to their edge, pushed to their limits at the Club World Cup that no one's watching, by the way. Not sure about you, my dear listeners, but I haven't watched a single full match of the Club World Cup. I've seen all the goals, right? I'll check Reddit, see the goals. I'll be on social, Twitter especially, and I'll see the goals on my timeline. But I've not watched a single match. I've not watched a single match from beginning to end of the Club World Cup. I couldn't tell you who's in. I couldn't tell you when the finals happening, who's in the quarterfinals. I have no idea what's going on. When the games come on, the games come on. I might watch the final when that eventually does come on. I'm not sure when that will be. But I've not watched a single game from that Club World Cup. And now you got Musiala being out, essentially probably for the whole season. Right? You imagine Musiala's probably going to be out until the end of the year. Right? I'm not sure, like, it probably takes about 6 months to recover from a leg break. Yeah, right, let's say 6 months, maybe with private healthcare, 5, rehabilitation, time not included. He's probably going to be out for the entirety of the season. He's probably going to see him again next season. Absolutely fucking crazy, man. So, thoughts and feelings go to Musiala. Hopefully he gets a speedy recovery and he's back on the pitch sometime soon. One of the other really sad things, of course, was the death of Diogo Jota and Andre Silva. RIP to both. Absolutely tragic news that was on the timeline. Again, when these type of news happens, like sometimes when it's so like out of the blue and shocking, you legitimately you don't even think it's real. When this happened, I swear to God, I didn't think it was real. I was on the timeline thinking it was some AI story or whatever, maybe, or some fan fiction, but unfortunately it was real. The unfortunate story of it, if I'm not mistaken, is that allegedly Diogo Jota wasn't even he was trying to get back home, trying to get back to England, sorry, to obviously in a run up for training for Liverpool starting this week. I think everyone's starting this week, and I think he's got some sort of injury that the doctor advised him not to take a plane. So the physio, whatever, because it's all about margins in football. So obviously, I'm assuming with the plane going to altitude, it might aggravate whatever injury he has. So the doctor, the physio, advised him, hey, if you can, try and do land transport. So train, whatever. So he was gonna take that car that he was in to the ferry, and then from ferry over here to fucking the UK. That's how he's trying to get. So he's trying to, basically follow the club's instructions. And unfortunately, along the way, driving to the ferry, the tire burst on the car, and I'm assuming they lost control, and then bang. Him and his brother both fucking passed away. And you're imagining a fucking Lamborghini, low to the ground, very aerodynamic, very light. It's probably the kind of car where if you're going at high speeds and you hit something, it's pretty much impossible you're gonna survive. You just imagine like how fucking low to the ground, thin and fast those cars are. Unfortunately, if you lose any control, you're probably not going to survive a crash like that, which is really tragic because it seems like it wasn't even driver error. It was just like a freak accident where the tire burst and then lost control of it. So thoughts and prayers go out to him and his brother, man. Like absolutely tragic. I can't, I think there's a really good video actually about Jose Mourinho when he speaks about it, like how tragic. And I never thought, I didn't cross my mind about, like think of the mum, you know what I mean? Think of the parents having lost both sons, you know, not even one, both fucking sons, which is fucking tragic. And yeah, it's been really horrible to see. And yesterday, I think, was his funeral. They did it pretty quickly, I think, within a week. Well, within a couple of days, actually, of it happening. A bunch of players turned up for the funeral. Ronaldo didn't turn up. And that was probably why he's considering the rumors coming out from his camp was that he went against turning up for the funeral because of the caliber of, you know, player, legend, celebrity that he is. He didn't want to put any attention away from obviously from paying respects to Diogo, Jota and Andre Silva, which says a lot about Ronaldo as a person. And I think the family as well are very low key, which makes sense because Diogo Jota was a very low key, chill, private dude anyway. Apart from his Twitch and whatnot, he wasn't really out on social media like that. So his family didn't want it to be like a big spectacle either, because, you know, they're grieving. They probably don't. That's probably the last thing they want. There probably will be a time for public, you know, whatever. I'd imagine there might be an option for that if that ever is the case. But they went to probably keep it close, family and friends and shit. And I'm assuming Ronaldo maybe consulting them, said, "Hey, I send you my wishes, but I'm not going to tank. I don't want to make it into a circus." And probably was the right thing to do, but it was tragic to watch. I'm not going to lie. Seeing the players rock up and trying to put a brave face on it, the family members, seeing the wife carrying the casket. Oh, the wife, man. Seeing the wife holding on to the fucking casket, like holding onto it for dear life, like not wanting to let her husband go. Like, Jesus Christ, man. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine what they're going through. Like, it's legitimately so fucking mad how quickly life can change on a sixpence. You know what I mean? Just the other day, man got married. Just the other day. And then look what happens, man. Fuck, you know. So let's read the article. Footballers Diogo Jota and Andre Silva have been honoured by their family and friends and teammates. Jota, 28, was laid to rest alongside his brother Silva, 25, after they died in a car crash on Thursday. Hundreds of locals and supporters gathered at the Irija Matriz in Gondoma, where the brothers were from, in Saturday. Gondoma. The funeral was also brought together huge names from across football, including Jota's teammates, Virgil van Dijk, Andy Robertson, who was seen carrying a floral of tributes into the church yesterday, ahead of the ceremony, service was held at Gondomar, a small Portuguese city near Porto that has been left reeling after the brothers died. Yeah, you can imagine as well how big of a, you know, how big they are in that city. That small town, they're probably super popular, well known, probably some of their biggest exports. You know, family's probably well known as well. Like, you can just imagine how much people are hurting in that town as well. Jota and Silva died at about 30 minutes past 12, local Spanish province of Zamora. It is understood that they were on the way to take a ferry to Liverpool for Jota's pre-season training when the accident happened. The Portugal forward had undergone minor surgery and the doctors had advised him against flying. The accident came just 11 days after Jota married his long-term partner, Ruti Cardoso, with whom they had 3 children. Yeah, the picture of them together in school, do you see the picture? There's a picture going around of Jota with his girlfriend in, like, high school, like secondary school. Like, they've been together since then. Like, oh, yeah. Like, secondary school fucking, like, love hearts. Love, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's too much, bro. Players for Liverpool FC who only had 3 months ago were celebrating their Premier League win, arrived in a funeral together. Imagine that, by the way. Watching them walk in line each other almost to as they do when walking down the pitch was an emotional experience. There was a strong feeling of community, but also a shared somberness. I'm thinking as well, this is not probably the right time to say this, but just speaking out loud. You know what's really tragic about this? This will probably have like one of 2 effects for Liverpool in the season coming up. It will either galvanize them and make the players want to honor Jota's legacy by winning the league again, winning everything again, right? They're going to be so determined to do so. Or it's going to have the opposite effect and it's going to make people really fucking sad the entire season and they're not going to perform well at all because they're all still mourning the death of their, you know, teammate and somebody who's a big character in the fucking dressing room. That's a real sad part about it. It's going to have one of either 2 effects. Nothing in the middle. Either it's going to galvanize them and they're going to go on an incredible run and win a bunch of trophies next season, or they're just going to be reeling from this and, you know, it's going to make them reflect and think there's bigger things in life than football. You know, those type of existential questions you have when somebody close to you passes away. But thoughts and prayers go out to all of them, man. That whole team, that whole squad, everyone around themselves, around about the club, man. That's going to be hard to fucking take. Many were visibly upset, with supporters on the other side of the barrier applauding the players. One woman in the crowd shouted towards them as they walked in, "Fokal," which means strength. Family and close friends walked in the church in complete silence, many of them with their heads bowed down as the church bell rang. One person in the procession held a sign with Silva's autograph, which read "Para sempre de nos," which means forever one of us. So much was the brothers' impact on football and their local community that some of the guests had to watch the ceremony from outside the church, often hugging and comforting one another. Locals and football fans in the crowd watched silently from most of the service, which went on for about an hour. Many wore football shirts and carried merchandise from the different teams across Portugal. Abroad were Jota, Silva, who played for local club Penafiel, spent some time there. One of the fans was Antonio Moreira, who set off early in the morning to be one of the first outside of the church where the funeral took place. I know I won't be able to go inside, but I wanted to pay my respects, he told me, at the barrier outside the church. Antonio later showed me his phone case, a little old, he said, with the emblem of FC Porto. Antonio recalled fond memories of Jota on the field as he spent a year playing for the local club, but added that the brothers were so much more than football stars. They were good people from a humble family, people like us. This has hit him especially hard, as 40 years ago his family went through a similar tragedy. His aunt, uncle and children and young cousin died in a car accident 3 days before Christmas, leaving his other cousin behind. Jesus Christ. Some people go through some tragedies, isn't it? His aunt, uncle and young cousin died in a car accident 3 days before Christmas. Fucking hell. Jota and Silva may have not been his direct family, he said, but their deaths felt personal. This is why I think losing your parents is hard, really hard, but losing your children is unimaginable. Jota's journey as a player inspired many people in Gondoma. Football fan Fabio Silva told me he has kept up with the brothers since they started at local clubs and said that they had to be here for their final journey. Despite the impact they had on football, even financially, they never let it show. The community is sad, devastated, it says. Having spent some time with them over the years, Fabio said there was only one reason he was there: respect for the brothers and the family. Fuck, man. Avid football fans Fabio and Raffaella travelled from the nearby town of Lodello, honouring Jota and Silva. Wearing Jota's shirt, Fabio said it was important for him to be here for Jota's final day. Both said it meant a lot to the community. They watched the ceremony from the outside of the church like hundreds of others. This example that you need to live life to the max, because you never know when you'll be your last day. Say everything you want to say, need to say. Tomorrow could be your late. Yeah, very, very true, man. Very, very, very fucking true. I think we all kind of operate in the world like that, innit? I know I've done in the past, where you always think you have infinite time. You think you have all the time in the world to do everything that you need to be done, and sometimes a death like this can really kind of jolt you and think, you know what, actually you don't. And especially with me and my family and stuff, and in the past few months and stuff, and the recent passings going on and stuff, it's been hard to fucking deal with and kind of, you know, make sense of everything. But essentially that's it. All you got is time, a limited amount of time, so use it wisely. Use it fucking wisely. Love hard, all that malarkey, and then go from there. But yeah, tragic way to pass, man. Tragic way to pass, but at least his teammates, I guess, and friends and stuff got to honor him in this right way. So hopefully that brought them some sense of closure, which it obviously won't. But hey, you can only hope. You can only hope. You can only hope. R.I.P. Diogo Jota. R.I.P. Andre Silva. Moving on, actually, to some other somewhat somber news, maybe for some of you out there who are not fans, but for me, very exciting news as a fan of the guy and how crazy and nutty he may be. Elon Musk says he's launching a new political party. You heard that right. Elon Musk says he's launching his own political party. He's had enough of Trump, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, right? Because he was single-handedly Trump's biggest donor last election, right? He could say he was partly responsible, not primarily, but partly responsible for Trump winning the presidency, right? And now he's saying he's going to launch a party that will effectively try to take some of the votes away from his party, from the party of fucking Trump, the Republicans, in the hopes of what? Maybe in the future electing a president from that party. It's pretty fucking crazy how things have panned out. My initial reaction would be that this is only happening because Elon couldn't control Trump the way he thought he would be, you know? He couldn't influence him. Like, Trump, I think, is one of those people who probably comes across a lot more dumber than he actually is. I think Trump is one of the type of guys that he comes across, like, with the things that he says, the wacky things he does, you know, he comes across a little bit more dumber, and I'm pretty sure it's on purpose. I'm pretty sure he does that on purpose to disarm people. but behind the scenes or when it matters, he's a shark, right? He's a fucking high functioning operator. And one thing he definitely doesn't really respond well to is like people trying to think they've got the leg over on him. Like I think he's one of the type of people where when he gets into positions, he makes sure he lets you know that, hey, you're not gonna be controlling me. I'm my own man. For better or worse, I'm my own man. So I think maybe Trump gave Elon the impression he could be malleable. He could be up for being his puppet. But then as soon as he got into power, as soon as he got what he needed from Elon, money, support, publicly, behind the scenes, financially, he ditched him like a fucking old toy, you know? He ditched him like an old toy and started looking after his own interests. He wasn't bothered about his interests anymore. And I think that really jolted Elon because I'm sure in Elon's walk of life, that's something someone mentioned before as well about politics thing. I think, I forgot who mentioned it. I listened to it on a podcast, but some person mentioned that because, you know, a lot of people at the time, myself included, were thinking, what the fuck is wrong with Elon? Why is he so obsessed with getting involved in government and politics? It's like, bruh, like you're not going to affect any change. This shit is a mess. Stick to the things that you actually know. I mean, you're very uneducated when it comes to politics and whatever else it may be, and government procedures and everything else, right? And you know, your worldview is a bit fucked up, so it doesn't really lend itself well to politics, right? And thinking about the wider good, because you know you're kind of always thinking about the balance sheet and everything else in between. And then somebody else mentioned that politics is that one area in probably life that Elon can't really buy, you know. So once you have a bit of that power and that control, it is quite dizzying. It is quite addictive. It's hard to let go of. So somebody mentioned that might be the case. Like he got a taste of what it was like to be standing next to one of the most powerful people in the world. He liked what it felt like. He liked the influence he had. He liked he liked what it did for his brand, right? I'm assuming being next to Trump and being, you know, his Doge advisory probably opened doors that he probably could have never opened just on his own. And that sort of power and influence is something that even his billions cannot ever purchase. So in a weird way, even though Elon is way richer than Trump is definitely has more influence and power, whatever else in him. And someone like an Elon, you know, probably wants it all. So that's what's probably happening here. So I'm curious to see how it plays out. I'm more curious to see how the American public responds, because I feel like Elon still hasn't realized that you can't run the country like a startup. As much as I'm a fan of this guy, I think for some reason he thinks he can run the country he thinks the government can be run like a startup. I don't think it can. Like government, society in general, you have to look after people's needs and interests, placate them. You know, there's like a delicate game you have to play. And I think Elon's in that mindset where he thinks, oh, because I'm a founder, because I can be a good CEO, that means I can run the country. It's not necessarily the same thing. And after how disastrous his run was with Doge, and effectively he turned off a lot of MAGA people, a lot of Republicans hated him. Like that's the thing that's funny as well. People don't really say this too often. Like as much as I love Elon, like he lost a lot of fans on the right. Like I don't think a lot of Democrats or liberals and shit give a shit about Elon or like him in general, simply because he's a billionaire and all the other stuff around him as well. You know, work exploitation and shit, blah 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 blah. But I think he lost a lot of Republican fans. You know. I think he lost a lot of people on the right, a lot of MAGA supporters, a lot of fucking Republicans, a lot of alt-right people. I think he lost them. He lost them. So I'm really going to be curious to see how he gets those people back. Because if he's doing this America party, I'm assuming it's going to be a centrist party. It's going to have a little bit of the right, a little bit of the left. I'm assuming it's going to be like his version of what he'd want the Democrats to be. So you're going to have to convince people who hate you already to be, you know, to allow in your party, and you're gonna have to convince people who you turned off recently to hate you again, or to love you again, which is gonna be doubly hard. So this is not gonna be easy. This is gonna be a real upwards battle. The only way this will be made easy is if the Trump presidency becomes an absolute farce, which is already, you know, it's gearing up to be that way. But if the Trump presidency becomes an absolute farce, right, a lot of Republicans as well are turning against Trump because of all the warmongering. I wonder if that will help him. Like if the Republican Party ends up actually just folding into itself and going against everything it kind of set out beforehand, Trump goes against all the policies that he was kind of rallying for, and they end up just, you know, just being an endless fucking warmongering party and shit. And Americans get tired of it because, you know, the cost of living keeps going up. They can't get medical insurance. All this malarkey is happening, and then, you know, all these foreign wars are being launched and supported by their government. Maybe that will turn people off. And then be like, you know what, fuck it, let's just go to fucking Elon's party. you know, because they're like, hey, I'm not going to vote for the Democrats, never, so let's go to the Elons. Maybe that would help. Maybe that would help, but I think it's going to be a real upward battle. I don't think it's going to be easy at all. So, courtesy of BBC, Elon Musk says he's launching a new political party. Elon Musk says he's launching a new political party weeks after dramatic falling out with President Trump. The billionaire announced on his social media platform X that he had set up an American party and built it as a challenge to the Republican and Democratic two-party system. However, it is unclear whether the party has been formally registered with the US election authorities, and Musk has not provided details about who will lead it or what form it will take. He first raised the prospect of launching an American party during a public feud with Trump, which saw him leave his role as administration, and engage in a vicious public spat with a former ally. During the row, Musk posted a poll on X asking users if there should be a new political party. Referencing the poll in his post on Saturday, Musk wrote, "By the factor of 2 to 1, you want a new political party and you shall have it. When it comes to bankrupting our country with waste and grift, we will in a one-party system, not a democracy." Today, the American party. Sorry, when it comes to bankrupting our country with waste and graft, we would live in a one-party system, not a democracy. Today, the American party, is formed to give you back your freedom. As of Saturday, the Federal Electoral Commission has not published documents indicating the party had been formally registered. Musk was key to Trump's as a key Trump advocate during the 2024 election. Oh my God. And spent $250 million. I didn't spend that much. No wonder he's so pissed off at Trump. He spent $250 million to get Trump in power, and then Trump still signed that big, beautiful deal. That was that big, beautiful bill, whatever. That fucked him when it comes to EVs. No wonder Elon's so mad. He gave him 250 mil. Yo, Trump doesn't give a shit, bro. He still did his own thing. Yo, Trump doesn't give a fuck, man. 250 million. No, if I'm Musk, I'll be pissed too. You don't owe me, right? You know, it's not like a quid pro thing. You're not beholden to me, but I gave you 250 million, brother. Like, you have to fucking listen to me. You have to consider some of my thoughts. You have to maybe not fucking pass this big, beautiful bill. Jesus Christ. But it's a good lesson for Elon. He needs that, man. That's a good humbling. That might be the first time in Elon's life where his money, where he was scammed out of his money, you know? And there's no recourse for it. That might be the first time in history where he was scammed out of his money and there's no recourse. He can't punish him. He can't do jack shit. He just has to fucking suck it up. That's gonna hurt, innit? After the election, he was appointed to lead the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, which was tasked with identifying the swinging cuts in the federal budget. His fallout with Trump began when he left the administration in May. And publicly criticized Trump's tax and spending plans. A legislation which Trump has called his Big Beautiful Bill was narrowly passed in Congress and signed into law by the president this week. The massive law includes huge spending commitments and tax cuts and is estimated to add more than $3 trillion to the US deficit over the next decade. Fucking hell. Yeah, big up everybody in the stream chat as well. Big up the Black American. Big up the Black American. Hello, especially when the little boy got out of pocket with Trump on camera, and hello. Luckily, that's your dad. I'ma bend over and laugh and then deport him. We used to love him. He unmasked and nobody liked him, but you be yeah, bit of Black America. Okay, fair play. Gotta give for a walk or something. Be feeling extra big back. Big up Black American. Mr. Stu, your girl. It's chicken feed for Elon. Very true. Don Dota. Yeah, true. But it's still a lot of money, brother. I know 250 chicken feed, but it's still a lot of money. Don Dota, yes, the quarterly bill. And not to mention all the Twitter shenanigans, including letting Trump back on. Yeah, fucking. Yeah, he let Trump back on and Trump still stayed on Truth Social. That was a bit of a power move, innit? That was a bit of a, like, you know, suck my dick on the sly, innit? He gave Trump back his account on X and he's still tweeting on Truth Social. He's not even bringing the traffic on X, you know? I wonder if Elon's a bit pissed at that. All those traffic, all that engagement he's not getting on his own platform. Anyway, why you still like him? Says Sheikh, or Sheik. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. To be fair, I've never been into the politics stuff. I don't care about what he thinks about the world. I'm mostly in it for the companies. You know, being somebody that runs or that's founded, let's say that, you know, that has a company that makes electric cars, that makes fucking underground tunnels, that makes and launches fucking spaceships and rockets and shit. I don't know. That's super cool for me. Being a geek techie guy that I am, right? It's just something that I'm obsessed with, especially being an engineering fan and shit. I don't know. I know he doesn't run those things. I know he's not responsible for all of them day to day, but knowing that there's someone in the world that has a fucking electric vehicle company, a spaceship company, an underground tunnel company, a fucking satellite internet company, you know, like those type of things, you know, for lack of a better term, makes my dick hard. I'm not gonna lie. What he thinks about politics, don't give a shit, but that sort of stuff, I'm into it. So that's why I technically still like him. But continuing on, let's check his Twitter quickly. Yeah, he did mention here, one way to execute this will be to laser focus on just 2 or 3 Senate seats, and 8 to 10 House restrictions. Given razor-thin legislative margins, that would make enough to serve as a deciding vote in the contentious laws, ensuring that they serve the true will of the people. You know what's going to be really difficult though? I don't think Elon gets politics, because didn't he get kind of fucked over? Didn't he get beat when he tried to back? There was some woman, I forgot where it was, what state it was in, but there was some state that was being really harsh on like electric cars or something, right? So that he's tried to back the Republican person who was facing the Democratic person, and you know his person got completely destroyed. So I don't know. I think Elon maybe lacks a fundamental knowledge, understanding, nuance. I don't know about politics. He kind of, I don't know what it is. He just, you know, there's something about politics that he doesn't really get. I don't know if it's because he's a billionaire and he doesn't really need to engage in politics. He kind of lives in his own world. You kind of create your own politics when you're a billionaire, but he kind of lacks that ability to kind of, you know, understand legislation, understand this, understand that. So yeah, he hasn't been great in so far, but you know, you never know. Another one says, oh, this is a post from Grok. Listen, kid, this is American party ain't no polished dream. It's a raw gut punch to the bloated uni party beast. Musk says grab a fistful of Senate seats and House districts, razor thin like a hangover edge. Hold the swing vote, force laws to bow to the real folks, not the suits, sucking whiskey in the back rooms. Independence? Hell, it's a brawl for the soul, dirty and true. I don't know why there's this feeling that Elon feels as if like the people are going to be on his side. Like, what if the people vote for the stuff that the whiskey swigging elites want, you know? It's interesting that Elon thinks he speaks for the will of the people. So, how can you be an everyman if you're a billionaire? How? Important vote for this poll. Let's see what else it says. Uncle Bill wants you to have a wonderful July 4th. Happy America, Tim Cook says. Image of the space rockets. Whilst we've got any more updates here from Elon, the replies on this announcement are comedy gold. Grok writes way better notes from the interviews that ChatGPT does. Here's the notes from the interview coming later. Cool, we don't care about that. Anything else from Elon regarding the bill? By the factor of 2 to 1, you want a new political party, you shall have it. The way we're going to crack the uniparty system is by using a variant of the Empanidos shattered the myth of the Spartan invisibility at Lucerta. Extremely concentrated force at a precise location on the battlefield. Okay, cool. What else is happening there? Nothing else, right? That's about it for the most part. Actually, let me see some of the replies. Let's see some of the replies. It says some of the replies, and this is funny. Let's see some of the replies here because I'm curious. Big up everybody in the stream chat tuning in. Appreciate you. Be at Young Old Vibes. Elon is just mad because without the tax cuts, no one is buying those overpriced Tesla products. Yeah, probably true. There's some truth to that, I would imagine. Tesla basically survived bankruptcy because of government cuts anyway. So it makes sense why he'd be a bit nervous. He'd be a bit, you know, that would be an important thing for him. That makes complete sense. Let me just quickly read this thread and then we can continue moving on to what needs to be said, what needs to be watched, and all that malarkey in between. Jesus, already 2:30. I can fucking waffle, can't I? I can fucking waffle. Cool, let's see the replies to this announcement are hilarious. Let's see here. Come on, show it up. I fucking need to get a new computer in it. This shit is fucking so slow. Oh my god. Okay, cool. There you go. Finally loading. By a factor of 2 to 1, you want a new political party. I want to see some of the replies to this and see what the public are saying. Are they sucking him off? Are they questioning his competency? What's happening here? What's happening here? There we go. So, what are the replies saying? To those arguing, this is from the rabbit hole. Third parties are still votes. Should have thought about that before alienating people from the coalition. Nobody owes their loyalty to any party, including the Dems and the Republicans. Taking people for granted isn't a good strategy. Okay, good. Another person here says 64% of the global respondents for this poll on your account. In no way should the poll be confused with the accurate sampling of American voters. Another one says over 1 billion people voted in this poll. Another one says, do you want to take over the Libertarian Party? We're not really using it. That's a good point, to be fair. Jason Calcanis, obviously they're sucking off Elon. You do for a decent party. Fuck off, Jason Calcanis. You fucking dick sucker. Another person here says, I bet President Trump is big mad at this news. If only he had appointed Elon to be head of the agency dedicated to eliminating government overspending, then it wouldn't need to create a new party to tackle the issue. To be fair, that Doge thing as well, you know what that Doge thing feels like now? I don't know whose idea it was, but you know when you've got a little brother or a sibling or whatever, or a cousin, and they come over to play video games, and you'd give them a controller but not plug it in and pretend like they're playing? That's what it kind of felt like. Once Trump got into power, once Trump got elected, because Elon kept buzzing around and kept fucking, you know, sticking his nose in, Trump just gave him something. Hey, focus on this. Here's Doge. Focus on that. So he could basically keep him out of his way. But, you know, in classic Elon fashion, that wasn't enough, and he kept still annoying him, and in the end, they kind of had a falling out. It kind of feels like that Doge thing was just to kind of keep Elon occupied. It wasn't really to give him any kind of influence or anything in the politics at all. That's what it kind of feels like now, looking back. Michael Tracy says, what's your position on the current $1 trillion military budget, and why didn't Doge follow through on your pledge to audit the Pentagon? Exactly, good point. Will Chamberlain says, no, thank you. Angie G says, I know you're not stupid, so the fact that you went on your own platform without a controlled demographic within the USA and without bots, think this is... Oh, shut up, man. Another person here says, our greatest democracies still tend to think that the stupid man is more likely to be honest than a clever man, and our politicians take advantage of this prejudice by pretending to be even more stupid than nature made them, says Bertrand Russell. Another one says, OG Cutred agrees with you. This is a post from 2021. The Republican Party has done absolutely nothing to deserve my vote, and for the blue check my people on Twitter preaching that the Uni Party is the only way for the future, screw them. Change only happens if you have the guts to take a stance. It's time for a third party. Awesome, someone says here. Where can we see more information? Emails Chong, who's not even American, right? This Emails Chong guy is from fucking Singapore or something, right? He doesn't even live in America, but he's always in fucking American politics. America would benefit from having a proper political party that isn't pledged to plundering the people. A people's party. Everyone wins. China wins, Russia wins, America wins. What? Shut up, man. Another person here says the new political party should start with the Republicans, who are truly America first already in Congress. Turn the GOP into a new party so we're careful not to split the vote. Are you joining? I want you for the American Party. The Uni Party. I have a huge respect for Elon and everything he has done for free speech and to ferret out the waste, fraud and corruption federal spending, but I would rather see him pursue his efforts at electoral reform within the Republican Party primaries rather than having a new party splitting the vote of the same. Who cares about splitting the vote, man? Shut up. I like how you take your poem seriously after a bajillion votes from India. Why not just try and take over the GOP with more American first candidate? If you are good with Second Amendment and the founders intended and hate the IRS, I'm all ears. Will the American Party support unlimited H-1B visas that replace native-born American workers with individuals from India and Pakistan? That's a good question. That's a good question, because I'd imagine a lot of Elon Musk companies rely on those H-1B visas. I don't, it's an American party, but it won't be America first, that's for sure. It definitely won't be about teaching Americans how to code. We know that. Will the party's official spokesperson be an individual from India affiliated with the questionable history of Mumbai? Please increase the 3,000 capital oil spend. This will split the Republican vote. Not good. Elon just created an American party based on a poll of foreigners. Where's the real goal here? That's the American dream, though, isn't it? That's the American dream, man. A South African American citizen is going to launch the America Party, right? Or whatever it's going to be called. Which is going to be largely run by, developers, working remotely from Mumbai and shit. That is fucking straight up the American dream. You gotta love that. You gotta love that. You didn't even get 1.5 million votes on that poll. Your average poll participants typically several million. You are drawing the wrong conclusion from this poll, in my honest opinion. I predicted during my show yesterday, this political venture is going to backfire. Bookmark this post. Okay. I like that little plug, by the way. Viva Frey. I predicted during my show. Okay, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Talking about let's see how it goes. I spoke about this on the other day about regarding on the random show, but I need to obviously cover this on Tazs because I'm sure some of you guys haven't heard. But I'm sure some of you have because this guy's gone viral, unfortunately. 4Extra has sadly blown off his hand with a firework on the 4th of July. Yeah, you heard that right. 4Extra, essentially the new Crip Mac at No Jumper. The guy's been running up the numbers, doing bits and bobs, been in and out of prison, challenging people to fades, taking up squabbles at every occasion, shouting and barking at people on camera. You know, he's a big personality, he's fun, he's entertaining, he's a bit of a star, to be honest, despite him being rough around the edges. And he's definitely breathed some new life into No Jumper. Adam 22 is kind of exploiting him a little bit, taking a piss, but hey, he's putting himself up for it. He's probably getting paid handsomely for it, so who fucking cares? Lately, he's been trying to, I feel like, up the antics. He's got into some big beef with 607 Unc on the platform. He threatened to kill him live on camera and shit. Crazy shit. So much so that 607 Unc quit No Jumper for a while, or for a couple of days, and then I think was told to come back. So he's been on the mad one. I feel like every other day he's doing more and more mad things online to go more viral. So I wonder this was one of the fucking things that he was trying to do to go viral, to, you know, blow off a fucking firework during the 4th of July celebrations. But unfortunately it kind of backfired and he blew his entire hand off. Now, thank God No Jumper blurred this picture, but I've seen the uncensored picture. I'm sure some of you have also seen it on the fucking timeline. The uncensored version of this picture is fucking gruesome. Legitimately, his whole entire hand is gone. If I'm not mistaken, the only thing you might have still there is the palm of his hands and maybe his thumb. From what I could see, it looked like the bones of his fingers are exposed, so they're just like, you know, bones of his fingers, but there's no flesh around those fingers. It looks like he might just have a thumb left. And I'm not too sure if even he's got a thumb, because it's a bit mangled. Like, and I think it's his, and to make it worse too, it's his right hand. So it's his right hand, and I'm assuming he's probably right-handed. It's completely blown off. It looks like he's got his thumb left, or maybe one finger left, and all the other fingers are gone. And you can tell he was holding the firework because sorry, the explosion looks like it happened on the inside of his palm. So it blew it all back. So the inside of it is all mangled and shit, covered in fucking blood. The picture online is fucking mad. And lately, or just the other day actually, I saw another picture somebody showed of what looked like might be his thumb. There was a picture that I don't know if it's actually his thumb, but there's a picture of a thumb that's on the floor. It looks like his hand, to be fair, because he's always showing his hands and his fists on stream, talking about squabbles, showing off his rings. So I think I recognize what his thumb looks like. I think that was his. There's a thumb that's on the floor. It's kind of severed, of course. That was kind of blown off as well. So that looked really, really fucking gruesome. And then fucking Adam 22 from No Jumper revealed, vis-a-vis his Instagram stories, he provided an update and said that this story is even worse. Allegedly, 4Extra was filming, I don't know, some skits or whatever for these fireworks, and his friend's face got blown off. So 4Extra blew off his hand, and his friend, who also was fucking around with these M80 fireworks, allegedly blew off half their face. So whatever damage 4Extra has to his hand, someone's got that on their face. And I'm wondering, what would you rather? I think most people would go with the hand, innit? Like if you had to choose between those two accidents, those two mainings, right? Would you rather blow off all the fingers of your preferred hand, or would you rather blow off half your face? I'm taking a hand all day long. I'm taking a hand all day long, mate. I'll wear a prosthetic. I'd get it numbed at whatever. You know what I mean? I would have a cool Chrome Hearts hook or something. You know, I'd fucking do whatever with the non-handed. It'll still be annoying because you have to change everything about your life, right? I think it's like when you get injured, you don't realize. It's like when you pull your back, for instance, like when you do deadlifts, and then you pull your back and you don't realize how painful it is because you use your back in everything, right? Every little tiny movement you usually use your back. So when you pull the muscle, it can be so excruciatingly painful. but it kind of humbles you and makes you realize how important it is to have, like, you know, your back in working order. So I can only imagine how much of a mindfuck it's going to be for somebody who had their hands working as per usual normally, and then suddenly to go to a place where you can't use your hand anymore, you know, your right hand at least. It must going to be a fucked up situation. So I really do feel bad for him, but I think if I had to choose, I'm going for the fucking hand all day long. But I can't imagine how the person is that blew up their face, how they're feeling. It's gonna be fucking traumatic. I feel like the fact that we haven't heard nothing directly from 4Extra kind of shows you how traumatic this experience has been. I've not heard a single word from that guy. Like, he's kind of disappeared from social. He's, I guess, basically recovering, trying to get right. But I have not heard a single word peep from 4Extra. And he's very loud on social, very loud, I guess, in person. But he's definitely recovering, definitely trying to get right. But yeah, honestly, that picture online is brutal, bro. It's so disgusting. Like, and just again, a reminder just how quickly your life can change. And also a reminder of not to fuck around with fireworks. Our parents always, it's like, the older you get, the more you realize how right your parents were, innit? These little bits of advice, right? About telling you to stay away from certain people who eventually, in my life especially, all turned out to be fucking, you know, bad people, unfortunately. Or when it's telling you to not jump on certain things, jump off certain things, play around with fireworks, and then look what happens, you know? Like, I think this is, to be fair as well, I think this is a type of thing, right? This is a type of thing that you probably would be okay to do if you were younger, if that makes any sense. I think this is kind of embarrassing too when you're older. That might be the reason why it's also gone quiet. It's kind of embarrassing when you do this yourself, when you play stupid games like this, when you fuck around and find out on yourself and you're like, you know, plus 30, plus 40 years old. It doesn't look cute. Somewhat understandable when you're a kid and you're drunk and you're trying to impress people, you're trying to show off, like, but when you're like a grown man and you blow up your hand with a fucking firework because you didn't know how to light it properly, because somebody said allegedly that these M80s, because I did my Googles and watched some videos on YouTube about how loud and aggressive and fucking powerful these M80 fucking fireworks are. But somebody said on the Reddit, I think on No Jumper Reddit, that the fuse on the M80s are really tricky. They're really all over the place. Sometimes you light the fuse and the thing will explode straight away. So it depends what they make the fuse out of. So sometimes you have time enough to light the fuse at the top and then chuck it and then run. But sometimes as soon as you light the fuse fucking goes and then boom, it kind of explodes in a second in your hand. So you have to be really careful about that sort of shit. So maybe 4Extra didn't do anything wrong. Maybe he just got really unlucky and the one M80 firework that he had was faulty one and the fuse was fucked up and it kind of blew up in his hand that way before he could either escape. But I just think it's one of those type of things where it was probably avoidable, you know? It was probably fucking avoidable. That's a real sad thing, is that at your big age, something like this happening is kind of fucking embarrassing. And there's another picture here as well. Somebody posted on No Jumper Reddit of 4Extra being carried away on a hospital bed. Carried away by an ambulance. And yeah, man, look at it. Fucking hell. Oh, I guess if it's involving a firework, I guess the fire brigade has to come out too, right? That looks like a fire brigade officer, a firefighter, sorry. Firefighters also have to come out if you get involved in something to do with that. Look at his face. Like, he looks so fucking sad. Like, his whole life has changed completely for the worse, basically. He now has a whole different challenge ahead of him. And again, I wonder if this is all a content virus thing. This is all the consequences of, like, chasing virality. Wanting to go viral, wanting to keep the algorithm fed, getting addicted off of that dopamine likes of whatever else it may be. You know, like, ugh. I don't know, man. Life is fucking tricky. Life is fucking tricky. So yeah, big up 4Extra, speedy recovery and all that, and to the friend as well whose face allegedly got blew up as well. Hopefully they're okay as well, because that's fucking crazy. Yeah, there's, oh, look at Keepy saying, dude, what if it was some bullshit music video? Oof, even worse, bro. Even worse if it was for some like LA fucking artist. The music video was probably gonna get like 5,000 views and you've lost your hand for 5,000 views. Look like a ghoul, you picking face. Big up Mrs. Studio Girl. Big up Apex Putter. Had my thumb reattached. Couldn't imagine that. Yeah, god damn it. Yeah, exactly. How about a neither, because I'm not redacted. Okay, oh, okay. About blow up your face with your hand. Big up Young on Vibes. Okay, fair play. Fair play, sis. Fair play, fair play, fair play. Moving on. Big up Bobby Vylan, who I've been told in no certain terms Since my last episode, I've been sent emails, I've been left comments on YouTube and wherever else it may be, people making it very clear that it's not Bob Vylan, it's Bob Vylan. Villain rhymes with Dylan, right? So it's Bob Vylan, not Bob Vylan, like I've been pronouncing it. It looks like Vylan. In my defense, it does look like, you know, phonetically, it does look like it sounds like Vylan, but it's Villain. So it's Bob Vylan. My apologies, my apologies. Well, bands are boycotting Radar Festival after Bob Vylan removed from lineup. So I guess in solidarity with Bob Vylan getting removed from the lineup because of their very staunch pro-Palestinian anti-IDF chants at Glastonbury that kind of broke the internet and made people go into a tizzy, which was weird, right? Like people had more reaction, more anger towards them saying death to the IDF than the IDF literally blowing up women and children. But hey, we move on. But bands on the lineup of Radar Festival 2025 have started to boycott the event following Bob Vylan's being removed from the bill. The duo were dropped as headliners from this year's edition of Manchester Festival due to their controversial slot at Glastonbury in which they voiced their support for Palestine. Now, personally for me, I don't mind either response. I don't mind the response of a festival. Like, imagine if the festival is owned by a couple of Israeli guys and they really took offense to the fact that, you know, these guys dissed the IDF, maybe they served in it, and they want to drop them. It's their choice, right? It's a private thing. They can do what they want. So I have no problem with them doing that, and I have no problem with Bob Vylan chanting death to the IDF. I think everyone should be allowed to, you know, espouse their politics or their stance the way they want to. But I don't think you know what I mean? That's what I just would like that to be the case. Like, if you want to fly your Palestinian flag, let those people fly their Israeli flag and let bygones be bygones. But now we live in a world where if you fly the Israeli flag, you're literally flying the fucking it's literally like you're flying a flag of the swastika, Nazi party. And if you're flying the flag of the Palestinian flag, people from Israel think you are basically saying that you want them to die. So it's a weird place we're in at the moment. They also led chants that of both Free Palestine and death to the IDF, and projected a message onto the screen behind them says Free Palestine, United Nations have called it genocide, the BBC called it a conflict. The backlash has led to them being dropped from shows in Germany and France. Wow. Finding their sit under a criminal investigation, severing ties with their UTA agent, and having had their US visas revoked. Look at how much shit they're losing just for saying death to the IDF. Like, essentially their whole careers is coming crumbling down, isn't it? Because when the dust settles, they won't really have much, you know? That's the sad things, that everyone's supporting them now, but you know how fickle and short people's attention span is. When the dust settles, what's going to be left of their careers? Fucking hell. This week, the organizer behind Radar, Catherine Jacobson Smith, explained that the festival did not want to remove Bob Vylan from the bill, but felt pressure to do so in a bid to ensure the event would go ahead. Oh, so it's not even the event organizer or founder. It's the fucking people behind it, the money people who are like, hey, if you don't remove these guys from the bill, we won't sponsor your fucking beer stand. We won't sponsor the VIP lounge. We're going to pull out. And I think festivals, by and large, as I'm sure some of you guys know, festivals don't make a lot of money. Festivals hardly make any money. So they need these sponsors. They need these corporate brands to be on their side. If not, then they're fucked. So I kind of get why they had to cave. It's sad, but I kind of get it. Capitalist, you know, capitalism. She also revealed that they considered having Kneecap, who was seen to backlash for it, but added that the alignment was replacement. Now it appears that the decision to have Bob Vylan removed as headliner has not gone down well with some of other acts on the bill, and 2 already have dropped out. The Scratch shared a message with fans announcing their withdrawal from Manchester event today. Big up the Scratch. The Scratch says, we will not be performing at Radar Festival this weekend. The censorship and deplatforming of artists speaking out against the ongoing genocide in Gaza is greasy, dangerous, and must be challenged. To be clear, this decision is not a criticism of Radar Festival. We understand it was an incredibly difficult and complex situation. This is about showing solidarity with Bob Vylan and any artists who may face similar treatment in the future. Shadowy government influence and wealthy lobbying groups should not be allowed to dictate who can be given a platform and what can be said. The situation will only worsen unless we as artists support one another and take action. Getting Netanyahu to the international, I guess, criminal courts, Up Bob Vylan, Free Palestine, love, yes. To be fair, this is going to be pretty mad to say, but as much as I don't like to see politics involved in music, weirdly enough, I think the artists who are making these stances, who are sacrificing their career to kind of speak up for the downtrodden people over there in Palestine and shit, they are going to eventually affect a big man, a large amount of change. I think. I honestly do think so. In the long term, because these guys are really walking the talk. A lot of people are literally dropping out of festival slots, and you'd imagine festival slots. Some of them might not pay a lot, but if you do enough in a short period of time, you probably get a lot of money. So I'd imagine a lot of artists probably make a big chunk of their money, a big chunk of their whatever living money in the summer. So if you're dropping out of festivals, you're really kind of allowing basically denying yourself a good payday. So artists are sacrificing that for this, and I hope it kind of leads to some change. The minimum it could lead to is some form of a ceasefire, in it, like, because come on, enough is enough, man. No one wants to see any more bloodshed, any more deaths on either side, especially not on the Palestinian side. They suffered enough, and you never know, man. Some of these artists could actually be the reason why this change happens. You never fucking know. The censorship deplatforming of artists. Speaking of GENN shared a similar message. GENN, GENN. What is GENN? They said as following. Few words on why we decided not to perform on Saturday. Please be kind and channel your energy towards the establishments. Actually, I want to read this. What does it say here? We are, of course, well aware of the development regarding Bob Vylan's removal of Radar Festival and resulting communications, which revealed that the festival had been pressured to act after decisions with the venue. We contacted the promoters as soon as we were aware and initiated a statement to seek further clarification. We have since received many comments and messages about what we should and shouldn't do. As a minority on which pretty much every lineup, and with a relatively modest platform, we considered whether we could use our physical presence to speak against bullying, censorship, and strong affirming demonstrated towards the likes of Bob Vylan and Radar. However, the messages and comments we've received tell a different story, one that has us fearful that regardless of our intentions to act true to our values, whether we perform or not, this would be seen as a good enough. Wouldn't be seen as good enough. As such, for our safety and sanity, and we've made a final decision to pull out. So it doesn't seem like they really wanted to pull out. It seems like they got pressure to pull out by their fans, and they kind of they kind of buck into their fans, which not the best thing to put out message wise. I'm not gonna lie. At least just pretend you wanted to do it. Don't blame it on your fans. We were devastated to do so after some time, money, and excitement we put towards the performance, and can only apologize to anyone who was going to see us there. To those of us who left our messages, comments, especially the more strongly worded, we employ to direct your energy towards your MPs, exactly, instead of bringing the positive change. Our fight should not be focused on the policing of those who are trying to spread awareness about the means. This is a distraction from the wider picture. To be fair, I also don't think it's fair. Like, if you're an artist and you don't want to get involved in this stuff and you just want to perform in places, you should be allowed to too. You shouldn't be shamed into having a stance by your fans if you don't want to get involved in either way. Especially if you're just like a working musician, artist. You don't come from money. You're just literally doing this because you love it and to pay the bills, You really can't afford to drop out of a festival because you're kind of counting on this money. It's not really fair for your fans to be like, oh, if you support this, then I'm not going to support you. You're a genocide enabler, all this. Come on, man. Come on. Especially if you've not posted anything. You've not been posting nothing political. You've kind of kept out of it completely. You just want to focus on your music and distract people from the madness going on. You should be allowed to be somewhat apolitical if you want as an artist. Now, it's up to your fans to decide they want to support you, but I don't think your fans should pressure you into having a stance of dropping out. I think that's kind of weird. It's almost like a form of bullying in itself. Bob Vylan spoke out in defense of their Worthy Farm performance multiple times, now saying it's vital to teach our children to speak up for change. Massive Attack have shown their support for the duo amid the furor today and urged media to center their attention towards what's happening daily to people in Gaza. Big up Massive Attack. Shortly after the set last weekend, other artists including Labrini Girls, Amelie and the Sniffers, and Soft Play share their backing as well. Big up at Amelie and the Girls as well. They fucking killed it at fucking Glastonbury. The latter shared a statement that read, again, the media trying to distract you from the real story. The outrage sparked is merely a smokescreen for the lack of reporting on the destruction of the Palestinian people. They are starving children. Where is the media outrage on Israeli continued obliteration of the whole nation? Radar Festival has not yet commented on decision of Scratch and GENN to back out the festival, knowing you have a confirmed replacement to slaughter Bob Vylan, whose set is going to be on tomorrow night. So big up Bob Vylan, big up everybody standing in solidarity with them. But if your favorite artist doesn't stand in solidarity with Bob Vylan, don't be too harsh on them. Don't be too harsh on them. Don't be too harsh on them. Continuing on, BBC have also said, cursor the mixed mic. The BBC have also said, Oh, sorry, what's gonna go now? Big up Two Swords. What am I still high? What the fuck? Didn't we one of these talks? Yeah, of course, yeah. Didn't we do one of these already? I don't know. Yeah, we did. But this is an update on it. This is an update. This is courtesy of Mixed Mag. BBC will no longer broadcast high risk performances following the Glastonbury fallout. So BBC are making it clear that no more. I guess they're not gonna be booking no more punk bands. I guess no more punk bands at Glastonbury, or at least the BBC won't be streaming the punk band sets, just in case they say something that goes against the Israeli government and they pull away funding from the UK or something. I don't know what's going on here. It's all fucking nonsense. Coach of the Mixed Mag, it says the following. Not the Mixed Mag, just Mixed Mag, I guess. BBC will no longer broadcast high-risk performances amid the fallout from its coverage of Bob Dylan's set at Glastonbury 2025. The broadcast has been at the centre of political row over this decision not to cut its live stream from the West Holts on Saturday as the punk duo led a chant of death to the IDF. Let me continue here. Oh, what's my fucking throat going all crazy? What's going on here? Why is it not letting me go? Come on. My computer, honestly. I need to get this shit upgraded so fucking soon. So fast, it's not even funny. Okay, there you go. Finally, it's working now. Finally, it's working. Let's see. Hopefully, I can fucking just scroll up for me a little bit, please. Just scroll up a little bit for me if you don't mind. Actually, I'm fucking boiling as well now. Honestly, now it's starting to be humid once again in London. Big up London humidity. Okay, cool. In a statement issued yesterday, the broadcaster said that 7 performers had been flagged as high risk. Wow, I wonder who the 7 performers are. At this year's festival, however, staff had taken decision to deem it suitable for live streaming with appropriate mitigations. Prior to Glastonbury, a decision has taken that compliance risk should be mitigated in real time on a live stream. That through the use of language and content warnings. During the performance, the live stream was monitored in line with the agreed compliance protocols. A number of issues were escalated. Warnings appeared on the stream on 2 occasions, and the editorial team took the decision not to cut the feed. This was an error. Imagine cutting the feed, man. Fucking insane censorship, isn't it? Yesterday, the 3rd of July, it was announced that the BBC's head of music, Lorna Clark, has stepped down from her role temporarily as a broadcaster. Jesus Christ. The BBC head of music had to step down because of that. Fuck me. Avon and Somerset Police has launched a criminal investigation after watching, honestly, criminal investigation against Bob Vylan, but no criminal investigation against Benjamin Netanyahu. Cool. In response to the fallout, Bob Vylan said in a statement that they are not for death of Jews and Arabs. We are being targeted for speaking up. We are not the first, will not be the last. If you care for the sanctity of human life and the freedom of speech, we urge you to speak up to. Big up Bob Vylan, man. More power to Bob Vylan, more power to Kneecap, more power to free expression on either side. If you want to fly your Israeli flag, fly it. If people want to fly their free Palestine flags, let them fly it too. We all have different opinions of what's going on in Gaza, but the main thing everyone wants is probably a ceasefire and the end of the destruction of that country, the destruction of their people, and the deaths of fucking women and children. That's enough, man. People are going to go pick up aid and they're getting their fucking heads blown off. Like, come on now. Let's be real. Let's be fucking real. Moving on. I mentioned this briefly, but I want to mention it again here because I have to re-record this episode because the other one was a bit crap and I was slurring my words because I was fucking tired. So we're gonna go through this one more time. But if you heard this for the first time, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Big up Beams. Beams is a Japanese label that I've kind of known for a while. Like I said previously, they've got so many different fucking subdivisions, sublines. Beams Plus, I have a couple of things from. I have a couple of things from the main Beams line. And lately, I'm not sure why, but they've kind of decided to make, forays into Europe, forays into America. I'm assuming their cuts have become a little bit more relaxed because I've got stuff from Beams Plus that's very tight. It's like an XL, but it fits more like a large because it's kind of Asian cut and whatever. So I'm assuming some of the shapes and the silhouettes are a bit bigger now, especially when you consider the trends as well nowadays of people wearing baggier stuff. So I'm assuming it's a bit more forgiving. And they've launched an America store that I would recommend you check out. And they've also launched loads of new collections, seasonal as well. So this is a seasonal spring summer 2025 collection that I'm really fucking into. I love so many things from this. Most of it is available on the online store at the moment. Loads of really good shit available now, courtesy of their online store. I love some of the silhouettes. I love some of the tracksuits. A real clever use of the material, like this kind of parachute type material that's been made into like a short sleeve jacket. It's made into like a polo top with a short, like a short sleeve polo top with like a quarter zip at the front as well. Like nice colors. Like this shirt is such a genius idea. Like I was mentioning before, honestly, like I've never actually seen like that kind of, you know, whatever that material is. I think it's nylon, polyester, that kind of crunchy material that you usually get with tracksuits, but it's been made into like a short sleeve shirt that has a quarter or that has a half zip button fly on the front and these invisible pockets on the side. Really fucking cool. I also like the shapes on the blazers and the chore jackets and the pants and the shoes. Some of the track fits are also pretty nice too. This is kind of it's like an 80s fit, you'd imagine. Sweatpants with a, which I'm not too fond of, but I don't mind it actually. It's a short sleeve sweatshirt, which is quite a cool idea with Ranglan sleeves as well. The cut of it is quite nice as well. I'm not too mad at it. I just hate the Nike DNA. It's one of the worst new Nike models of recent years, actually. Such a shitty fucking design of a shoe. But he pulled them off well there. Again, that same fabric that I mentioned previously, just done with a short sleeve jacket sort of style. And the shorts as well are not jorts, not a super long short length, just above or just over the knees or just beyond the knees, which is really my kind of style. I love some of the big blazer looks as well that can easily smarten up a look without looking super, you know, smart. It's whatever. You can still look somewhat, I guess, smart casual essentially. You know, nice big shoulders, nice big length, easier way to kind of, you know, layer it up. It looks good with a polo, looks good with a button-up shirt and some jeans, wearing some loafers here as well. I love it, man. I fucking love it. I fucking love it. And the styling as well is really cool as well on some of these shoots as well that I'm seeing on here. That beret is fucking hard, by the way. I'd wear the fuck out of that. Maybe I can't wear it now because of how big my hair is. Probably have to braid my hair or cut my hair, but that beret on this particular look is really nice. Also the little pop of the Tiffany blue socks as well, I'm not too mad at. I love this look in particular. This look in particular I want to wear more often, especially during this summer. Maybe this might be my this might be my carnival fit, because I'm planning to go carnival this year. I haven't been in many years. This might be my carnival fit. I swear to God, this might be my carnival fit. Nice little fucking gingham short sleeve shirt, white t-shirt underneath, cargo shorts, white pop socks, and some Vans. This might be my carnival fit. I'm not gonna lie. I might have to turn up to carnival looking like Tyler the Creator. You know, looking at Tyler the Creator. I love the gloves as well. The gloves featured here are really fucking cool. I think they might be mechanic gloves. I'm not too sure. I think they might be mechanic gloves. They've got like a bone skeleton print on the outside, and yeah, they look really cool. These Puma Speed Cats, by the way, not too sure if anybody in my stream chat knows what they are, but the Puma Speed Cats have become really trendy again. They got retroed recently, and they're back, you know, available to purchase, but they're really poor quality, innit? Like, I'm really fucking sad at the quality of Puma Speed Cats. I'm not too sure if they were always like this. I don't know if people have like OG versions of Puma Speed Cats and maybe they were better quality, but the ones nowadays, they're like, oh my God, they're so flimsy. They're so fucking flimsy that they don't keep their shape at all. They look much better online. They look better in online pictures and fit pics, but when you actually touch them in real life, they look horrendous, man. They fall apart. They have no structural integrity. Like a really fucking shitty shoe. It's really sad because I think it's one of their better versions. Like a Puma Speed Cat and a Puma Clyde are probably the only two Pumas I'd ever wear, and maybe the boots, actually, the ones that Pele used to wear back in the day. But Puma don't make a lot of good footwear, unfortunately, and these Speed Cats, although very popular, are very poor quality in my personal opinion. Again, great looks here, great little styling nods here. I'm not mad at this fucking short sleeve jacket thing, you know. I ain't mad at it at all. It's kind of a weird idea, like this sleeveless jacket tracksuit thing. I don't mind it. It's really cool. And obviously this bomber jacket is one of my favorite pieces. I really want this. And again, you know, I'm a fucking bomber jacket fiend. I've got at least, I don't know, 2 or 3 different bomber jackets from same brands like Rick Owens and shit. Different bomber jackets from, you know, random security warehouse type of shops that I like to purchase them from. I've never owned an Alpha Industries bomber jacket, but I'd love one of those. I'd love one of the Vetements bomber jackets from that early collection that they did. One of the first runway collections they did, I think, in the underground thing. I'd love to own a pair of those ones as well. Like, it's such a fucking great jacket. And this one's a little bit more of a, you know, exaggerated fit, oversized fit. The shoulders are nice and low. or kind of hang down a little bit. Puffy fucking sleeves as well. I really like it. And I think it's got an orange lining as well, and it's made out of that same material again with a tracksuit. I don't know, I think it's nylon, this material. I think it's nylon, which kind of gives it a nice, it kind of makes it look very structurally big, but it also gives it a bit of lightness so you can wear it in the summer. That's probably the reason why they did that. This is again one of my favorite looks, look number 19, with this plaid, this quilted plaid overshirt, which I'm assuming what it was. It looks kind of padded, so it's probably got some lining on the inside to keep you warm, so you can use it as a jacket or as a shirt, and it looks really nice there with the little white t-shirt underneath. I just hate the shocks. I wouldn't wear it with shocks personally. Shocks are horrible shoes. But we move. This blouson, this extra long leather jacket thing is fucking great as well, by the way. He's got this like oversized vintage sort of style of the leather jacket, but it's obviously made in a contemporary way with those big shoes. To be fair, it looks kind of weird because this kid looks really young. It almost looks like, you know, back in the day, you know the prank people do where you like, where a kid will sit on the shoulders of an adult and then they'll put a long trench coat on and look really super, super tall. That's what the kid looks like. He looks like that, but he's just probably really young. Yeah, that blue plaid is fucking beautiful, and that look number 22, look number 23. Also, blazer I'm not mad at as well. That leather jacket I'm not mad at. The cargo pants in look number 25 with the fucking Birkenstocks. These Birkenstocks are really ugly, but they look quite decent with this outfit. These Birkenstocks are really fucking ugly, but I kind of don't mind them with the outfit. That's what real style is anyway. Real style is being able to make something really butters look kind of nice, you know. And I think those Birkenstocks are helped by these fucking lovely olive green cargo pants. I'm a sucker for a good cargo pants. I've got so many cargo pants. I go fucking hard, and these look really fucking nice. I love the fit. I love the color. I love the material. The shape of them looks really cool as well. With a white knitwear, with a white knitted top on as well, sweater I'm not mad at as well in the slightest. This particular one, the guy's wearing them with a pair of Dr. Martens. Yeah, so I'm not mad at it personally. I think that those are more like chinos, oversized chinos things. There's also a white tracksuit here that doesn't look too shabby. I'm into that as well. A white tracksuit maybe with some white Air Force Ones is probably a good idea. Also, there's a bomber jacket that I want oversized. That's a kind of a funny look, right? The white fucking shirt with the fucking boxer briefs. They're a bit big though, isn't it? Like those boxer briefs are huge, man. Like he's swimming in those, isn't it? Are they meant to be things you're meant to wear as underwear, or are those shorts you're meant to be wearing outdoors? Because they look really wide. It's a bit too much stuff going on there, and a bit too much fabric. But yeah, nice Oxford shirt there. Oh, that leather jacket is hard, isn't it? Wonder how much it is. Wonder how much that leather jacket is. That leather jacket is really fucking good. The wash on the jeans is also really nice. That suiting is really good. Beams is good, man. Like I said, Beams is like, for me, there's 3 brands, or there's 2 brands I'll probably purchase and buy stuff blindly from. Stussy and Beams. If I'm not buying from Supreme, because sometimes Supreme could be a little bit more too on trend, and obviously I fucking hate Palace, I'm never wearing that. But I think Beams and Stussy are brands that you could easily every season pick up a couple pieces from, and you're fucking nice. You're always gonna find at least something in the collection that you're gonna be into. And I love that bomber jacket that I said I wanted is reversible, as all great bomber jackets are these days. Nice reversible with the orange lining, and it's got that nice is it like silk nylon type of material that makes it kind of pop a bit as well. I ain't mad at that in the slightest. Nice suit jacket there. The cargos again, we see another look on the cargos that looks really nice. There's a half and half bandana. I'm sure Crip Mac and 4 Extra won't be happy about that. They won't be happy about this bandana. These half and half. No one likes a half and half bandana. I even hate the bandanas they sell in fucking stadiums. Like when United's playing City and somebody sells a fucking half Man City, half Man United fucking banner. It's fucking GAY. No real sports fan is a fan of both teams. Unless you're some bandwagoner. Unless you're Brendan Schaub or something. Do you know what I mean? But like, no real sports fan is okay with having a half and half. You have to choose. You have to stick to one side. So yeah, it's fucking funny. Two different blues on that bandana. Again, good suiting, innit? There's a lot of really good suiting options. There's those 2 flannels doubled up on each other as well. The bomber jacket again that I want. Oof, look at the cut on that. Look at the cut on that bomber jacket, man. That sits so good. It's probably his size, but it's got like a little bit of an, you know, oversized sort of cut to it, so it can kind of sit a bit baggy on him. Or maybe it just helps that he's super skinny. I don't know, but it looks fucking great. I love it. I love it. I love it. And there's also a hat here as well. And then checking the prices online quickly on Beamsaw. That blouson I said I wanted is oof, not cheap. 4,300 there. This is Niceness. Actually, I think this is a collaboration with a brand called Niceness. But let's actually check what they have, because the Beam stuff is quite cheap. Yeah, look, see, Beam shirt, $145. This is a really nice shirt, to be fair. There's a whole suit. The Dickies suit is $400. Beams and Dickies suit, $400. I think is a really good deal to wear a suit, you know, a Beam suit kind of thing. I ain't mad at that. Let's see some other bits, more Beam suits. There's this jumper, this crazy knit jumper is fucking beautiful. 185. This distressed leather blouson, 725. The cargos I said I wanted, what they called, tech. Oh, look at those cargos. Tech duck double pocket pants. Oof, lovely. There's a Levi's and Beams t-shirt for 67. A faded duck short blouson for 288. Faded print Ranglan sleeve jumper that says Detroit, 156. Big up Uche. Faded duck short blouson. Oh, look at that one there. That's lovely. 288. So nice, man. The prices aren't too shabby. I'm not too lie. There's a Switzerland and Chicago sweatshirt too. 161. The stuff is pretty good from Beams, bro. The prices are not too shabby. I'm be into this sort of stuff, I swear. Like, if you're looking for a brand to buy and you're not, maybe a lot of the Stussy stuff sells out really quickly and you want something else, I recommend you check out Beams. Beams-America.com for all your Beams garments needs. Beams-America.com. Beams-America.com. Moving on, Skepta reconnects with Puma for an icy new collaborative drop. Big up Blood Clot Skepta. He's doing a great job over there at Puma. I still think it was a fucking crime that he was let go from Nike, or his contract didn't get renewed. I think he should be at Nike designing fucking TNs and TLs and 98s and have his own Air Max line, tracksuits. Like, he should be, that's where he should be, to be honest. Why Nike didn't give him more free reign to do so, I don't know. I have a feeling with how business savvy Skepta is, most likely he walked away because they probably wouldn't give him equity and shit, because Nike are famous for not really giving athletes or designers and shit real ownership. You know, they kind of want you to come in and they'll give you a big bag, you know, whatever else it may be. You get the clout and the notoriety from working with a brand like Nike that we all loved when we were growing up and waiting to work for, but they don't really give you more than that, you know. I'm not sure why that is company wise. Maybe because they feel as if they're, you know, the value that they bring is intrinsically more than what you can bring. But I feel like over the years they've kind of made it known that they won't ever bow down or ever kind of, you know, give too much to somebody. Maybe because they felt like they made mistakes in the past, I don't know. But I think nowadays, considering how much competition exists in sportswear, in footwear, considering that I feel like nowadays the kids or the climate people in general aren't as brand loyal as they were when I was coming up. I feel like before, when I was coming back, like if you wore Adidas, it was alternative, right? Like nowadays people are wearing all types of brands, from Diodora to Mizuno to Asics to New Balance, right, to Reebok, whatever. They're wearing anything that looks good. But back in the day when I was coming up, like, it was only Nike and Adidas was like a far second. So I think with that being said, and you know, a lot of upstart companies also doing their bits and bobs as well, people launching their own brands, there's a lot of competition out there. So I think if that's the case, and there is only like a few real movers and shakers, right, people who have really affect change, people who are really influence out there, I think Skepta is one of them. I think you should tap them up and lock them down. You shouldn't let them go to other brands and, you know, give their source to those brands. I think you should probably lock them down and have that stuff be done in-house at Nike and shit. But anyway, that's their loss. Skepta's gain. I think he's done some great stuff over at Puma. None of his shoes have missed so far. I like that he makes completely different, I like that for the most part he's not doing a retro. He's designing the shoe from the ground up. The shoe in particular, this one is a shoe that he's done before that also has come in a boot, which I love. But this particular one is more of a runner, and it also comes with a matching set of apparel. So let's check out some of the clothing here. I'm not too sure if the do-rag is also included, but there's glasses included in the fucking collection. I think they are, right? Or is that Oakley? I'm not too sure. But regardless, there's some gloves also involved, which I want so fucking bad. The gloves I think I want the most, especially for my DJ stuff. The gloves I want the fucking most to record my sets with. The gloves look so fucking good. All white look, matching gloves. There's a jacket as well. It looks fucking hard. I love the logo too. Obviously him being a guy that's a fan of hoods, the hoods are always going to be fucking great on Skepta jackets. Puma logo with the eagle. The shoes look fucking great. The backdrop looks amazing. Very, it kind of give me undercover vibes. I'm not gonna lie, like so fucking hard. The shorts look really good as well. Oh, look at these, man. So nice, so fucking nice. And it also comes with a grey outsole and a blue outsole. Personally, I think the blue outsole is the best. The blue outsole reminds me a lot of these like classic, what are they, of what they called Reebok workouts. I remember Wiley had a pair actually. Let's see, Reebok workouts, icy blue sole. I remember Wiley wore these one time during a video, but I'm not too sure if you can find them anymore. They had like a rigid sole. I don't even think Reebok put them out, and I think you could buy them in like Littlewood's catalogs. I think back in the day. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. That's the one. There we go. Reebok Classic with the icy sole. So these are the shoes I remember fucking what's his face, Wiley wearing back in the day, right? So I wonder if this is the colorway that inspired Skepta's decision to make those Pumas. Because this shoe did not. Oh, big up Gua, man. R.I.P. Gua. These are a shoe. I guess Gua got these made for him and stuff. Big up Gua, man. R.I.P. Gua, Cricket Tongue's legend, who unfortunately passed away a few years ago. But I wonder if that particular shoe is what inspired this shoe, because that's an unreal combo, man. All white upper, mesh included as well, and a clear translucent outsole, blue outsole. So fucking sexy, so fucking good. I wonder why Reebok don't put these back out again, man. Reebok need to re-release this. Like, that's what they need to re-release, not those fucking other shits they're supposed to put out there. But these are really fucking good. We got Reebok. But let's go through some of the other shots of him. Again, this shoe would look incredible as a high, but it looks really good as a low as well. Really, really nice mixture of levers as well. The bit of mesh included here. It seems like the same mesh is on the insole is on the outside. You got the concealed lace loops here, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I'd much, to be fair, eyelets instead of the lace loops. Obviously the clear blue icy sole is the real winner. There's a nice little heel counter or like 4-step or whatever foot arch silver counter thing there that I also like the look of. Gives the shoe a bit of pop. Puma written underneath for the sole as well. Big silver box, and it also comes with a grey outsole as well. The blue one's definitely the one, but I'll take either. The blue's definitely the one, but I'll take fucking either. Such a good fucking shoe. And they're meant to be dropping when? July 5th? Oh, so they're out already. So it should have been out yesterday. Big up Skepta on those ones. Are they available to purchase now? Let's see. Are they already sold out? Let's just read the blurb as well. And let's see what the blurb is saying regarding the shoes themselves here. It says Puma and Skepta have once again joined forces to unveil their latest collaboration, building from the ongoing partnership. The latest release combines Puma's established performance roots with distinctive techwear edge. The drop spotlights the scope footwear silhouette, now reimagined in 2 crisp white colorways with chrome accents and translucent soles. The upper blends mesh with smooth pattern leather. Oh, it's pattern leather overlays. Nice. So give it a nice pop on the outside with the mix of patent leather and whatever. I really like that. While the co-branded detailing on the tongue and the outsole reinforces the partnership's bold identity. In addition to sneakers, the collaboration also includes a curated line of apparel, sculpted cut lines, lightweight jackets, wind cell, warm cell gilet, structured and silk tops. Oh, and there's also a silk touch cap. So there is actually a fucking do-rag, a Puma Skepta do-rag. I love that. Let's actually check the website. I want to see if this is available to purchase easily. Let's see, because sometimes these Puma websites are always a bit booky in it. So let's scroll up. Let's just go men. Let's just go latest. Let's see if they already got them available, because some of these things are hard to find. Should we go on lifestyle or should we go on here? Let's just go men. Let's go. If we do lifestyle, what does it say? Does it say Skepta here? Scope here? I don't know if it does say. I say accept. Oh, it's got some of the names of people who they fucking sponsor too on here on lifestyle. Let's see who they work with here. Who are Puma working with right now? Come on, man, what's wrong with this site? Is it my computer or is this one? Okay, the collaborators they work with: Fenty, Skepta, A$AP Rocky, Neymar Jr., Aries, represent Harry Potter's Kid Super, Hello Kitty, Lib Raiders, and Squid Game. So they're trying hard, really, but it's not really resonating, because I don't think I've heard of any other shoe from those people except for A$AP Rocky's one, or maybe Rihanna's one's over the Fenty shoe. Let's check out Skepta. Let's see if we can find that shoe. Let's see if it's available. Is it sold out? I'm curious to see if people are liking it as much as I did, or if it's just an online thing. Let's see what I'll go on here. Let's see if we got some love with a sellout. Is it sold out? 140. It's a bit steep, isn't it? It's a bit steep. Not gonna lie, it's a bit steep for a Puma crepe. I guess you can't really get any shoe nowadays, a decent trainer for under 100 quid anyway. But yeah, it's a bit steep for a Puma crepe. I'm not gonna lie, a bit steep. 140 is a bit fucking steep. There's some, the other shoes are also available. Oh, there's a cap as well you can get. Oh, there's, okay, nothing else. There's a cap and some other bits. So let's check out the shoe that I would want. This one here with the blue translucent sole. Is it available in my size or is it already sold out? Let's check out. Oh yeah, it's sold out. Wow. Okay, cool. No, so I wasn't the only one that loved the shoe. The only size available currently in the one that I want with the blue sole is a size 6, size 6.5, and size 12. So really small or really big in the fucking blue. Fucking wild. Okay, cool. Good to see I'm not the only one that liked them. And in the grey, what size do they have available in the grey? Oh shit, the grey's available in all sizes. Mostly size 6, 6.5, 7, 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10, 10.5, 11, 12. Raw. So the greys are available because you know they don't pop as better as the blues. The blues are the ones. The blues are the ones, man. But yeah, big up Skepta regardless, man. He fucking killed it. Big up Skepta. Big up fucking Skepta. We love to see it. We love to freaking see it. Be everybody in the stream chat, thank you for joining. Figure everybody listening to me after the fact, I appreciate you too. That is the end of the Agostinho Zinga Show, episode number 920. Thank you for tuning in. If it's your first time checking out the show via YouTube, smash the like button, hit subscribe, all that good shit. If you're listening via the podcast app, leave me a 5-star review on all the podcast platforms. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you're listening via the podcast platform, you should be hearing my tune of the day, courtesy of the one and only Kylie Minogue, Dancefloor. Because it's festival season, everyone's out partying, having a good time, and I'm in the house fucking making content and trying to drag my family out of the depths of poverty with one stream after another. I decided to play the song Straight Dancefloor to kind of make me, you know, feel a little bit better about the fact that I'm indoors. So hopefully you enjoy it too. If you're out having a good time in the festivals, enjoy. Having a good time on the weekend, enjoy too. Savor those moments, as I've mentioned before, because you never know when your last moment will be. As macabre as that is the truth and reality. So thank you for tuning into Agostinho Zinga Show. Kylie Minogue, Dancefloor is playing underneath my voice right now in the audio side of the pod. If you're watching it live, please stay on here. You'll be redirected to the random show that'll be starting in about 10 minutes. But for now, see you guys soon. Take care. Be well. See you guys very, very soon. Peace.